but you can't combine those two things, so they will need that. So just keep that in mind. Then I was reading through it, and then it got real interesting because I read the commercial lease agreement, and on page 13, it says that this lady, Miss Walker, she's going to deliver her rent. She shall render all statements and shall deliver all notices under this lease to landlord at the following address, 1260 Bimini Lane, Riviera Beach. What is that all about? So something's wrong with this lease, because this is the address of the gentleman. He lives in a $1 million house in Palm Beach Isles. Why is she delivering her rent to him? I don't understand that at all. He's the gentleman we also rent parking space from over at the Ocean Mall. So why it says here that she's going to deliver her rent to him, that I don't get. And you can read that's on page 13. The grant, I don't quite understand. You're talking about a grant. Is that the money you're giving to her? Where's the $33,000 coming from? Who provides that? Where did that come from? And also, we met her one time. I don't know if she's here tonight or not, the young lady who's going to be doing this. She seemed pretty professional. She was a college graduate. She seemed like she knew what she was doing, so I hope she makes it well there. The things that I'm going to say on her behalf are, it says also in the lease, here's another thing in the lease. Page 3, it says real property, tangible personal property taxes, sales, and use. I'm wondering who wrote this contract, because right here it says real property taxes. Tenants shall pay the full price of the amount of the real property taxes. We don't pay taxes because it's owned by the CRA. No. So why is that in the lease? I'm hearing a no over there, so that'd be a good explanation for me. All right, now here's another thing. It says in here that she's responsible for keeping the parking area clean, provide grounds maintenance, and other standard maintenance. Now, I know that Cash America has the same stipulations. They have to keep the parking lot clean. That's the job of the clean and safe, isn't it, to do Broadway, and this is a CRA property, so I'm wondering why is she expected to get out there and weed and take care of the plants and stuff? She's serving food and stuff. She shouldn't be out there doing grounds work. I don't understand.
Thank you, Ms. Larson.
That was 3 minutes?
Yes.
Landscape. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Evans, did you want to?
I'd like to respond.
Okay.
There would be taxes charged any time that the agency leases something, a piece of our property out. Then there are taxes that are assessed to that. That is the incorrect address, so I apologize for that oversight. And it should say our address is in there, but it should say the landlord at 2001 Broadway. So we would request that the approving resolution make that amendment, deleting that incorrect address. We do, as she is renting the building, and she's only responsible for the property directly around her building. There's an area where she would have, where the business would have rather tables where her patrons could sit and eat potentially, and we felt it's important for her to maintain that area as a part of her business, which you can see in the rendering above. It doesn't include the rest of the site, which is maintained by the CRA. And the $33,000 would not go to the recipient before she moves in. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any questions or comments from the board?
I have a comment. I had some heartburn with this contract and with this whole deal when it first came to the came to our meeting. One of the problems I have with this is that you are giving a 3-year contract for someone to get into a building, to set up shop, and then also, too, I asked the question the last time about, so those are some of the issues that I have even going forward with this. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, so I know when this first came up, I was on the council, and Hotel was here as well. And the whole idea behind it was to help the small business owners get started to being home. Maybe things are not working out. They want to go back into their home and sell, or if they have established their business enough where they can go to a larger building. So that that from my perspective, that was what it was. Even though we don't have very many people, like you said, over the years, it won't be a lot of people, but we did talk once before about if there were other buildings, maybe the one that we had on E Avenue, Healthy Neighbor, Healthy Living, that was on. Well, the building is there, but the organizations along are there. So, maybe having a few others that will replicate the same type of business. But it was, it's trying to help a few, as many as possible. That's kind of where it started from. Now, obviously, this is our first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. And if it's, it doesn't work, then we can, reconsider it at another time. But that was the whole basis of it.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
No, and I understand that fully, but
Right.
to sink in 33,000, ask the person to pay 5,000, that's a lot of money to put out.
Mm-hmm.
So and then if it fails, or now the person has to move, I just think I have a real heartburn with. But the short term for the whole program, in terms of 3 years, and then you got to move out that whole place, go and find you a whole nother place, change your letterhead, change your phone number, change your licenses. That's even more money. So I'm just, that's the kind of how I'm looking at it. But, if that's what you and the rest of the board approved, then that's what it is. Those are just some of my comments and heartburn that I had with the whole contract.
Okay, I understand. Anyone else? All right, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lanier?
No.
Commissioner McCoy?
Yes.